Hey, this is Eric over at Techno RV, and we have the full line of Garmin dash cameras from you to choose from. I've made videos on each of the individual units we have, and I've made a video comparing them all together to help you make your decision. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about the Garmin Dash Cam 67W. All right, this is the Garmin 67W, and it is indeed small in stature, pocket size as they call it, and that is exactly what you want for a dash camera, something that doesn't take up a whole lot of windshield space. It does have a 2-inch measured diagonally screen on this unit, and it mounts with this clever magnetic mount here, and this is basically you get two magnets, and you basically just mount a magnet onto the windshield where you want to mount your Garmin dash cam, and then you can just easily pop it on and off. So I really love how they've mounted this. The mount on the camera actually comes on a ball joint, so you can see it just rotates very easily, and what this allows you to do is no matter what your windshield angle is, you're always going to be able to get a nice straight shot out of the front. This display resolution, and when I say display, I mean the 2-inch display that is a color LCD display, is 320 by 240 pixels. Now again, that's your display resolution. That is not your pixels for what you're going to be shooting. It's not that resolution. So this unit weighs in at just a little over a couple of ounces. So again, very small, very lightweight, exactly what you want for a dash camera. This unit does have a lithium ion battery in it. This unit is designed to be run on constant power while you're going down the road. The lithium ion battery will be good for about 30 minutes if you take it off of power, and really that's just there if you took it off of power and you wanted to make some adjustments to it or something, that you would have the ability to do that. But whenever you buy this kit, you do get two power cords here, and they're basically almost identical, except for the part that plugs into the camera is reversed on one of the cables. So if you want to mount it with this facing down, you've got a cable for that. If you want to mount it with this facing up, then you've got a cable for that. And then of course these cables will plug into this cigarette lighter style plug that you'll plug in to give it power. And this comes with two USB ports on it, and so obviously your dash cam will take up one of those. But they were thoughtful enough to give you another USB port here in case you want to charge up a smartphone or something like that. This unit comes pre-installed with a 16 gig SD card. You can upgrade that yourself if you want to, up to a 512 gig SD card. It needs to be a Class 10 or faster SD card. So as long as you check the boxes there, you'll be good to go. One reason somebody might choose to have a bigger SD card is that this unit does loop over old information. Typically, whenever you're using a dash camera and you're maybe driving down the road for 8 hours, you really don't want to keep that full 8 hours. You can certainly go in and manually save certain parts that you do want to keep. But the parts you don't want to keep, this system's just going to go and just loop over that and record back over it. So if you want a little bit more headroom on that amount of data, then you can always add a bigger SD card to this system. So let's talk about the resolution that the 67W had. This is what the resolution that you're shooting video with. It's 1440p high definition. And that is very good, and it shoots at 60 frames per second, which is also excellent. So the more frames per second that you can shoot in, that's going to minimize what they call motion blur. So with a dash cam, obviously you're in motion and there's things around you in motion, and so if you don't have enough frames per second, then you can get like what they call motion blur, like maybe on a sign or a license plate or something like that. So recording in 1440p and having that 60 frames per second is really going to give you a nice, clear, crisp, vivid video, and obviously that's what you want out of a dash camera. This unit here does shoot its viewing angles 180 degrees, so this is the biggest viewing angle of any of the Garmin dash cameras. So it's 180 degrees, which is basically a straight line. So I mean, you can imagine it's giving you a massive viewing angle. So so that's kind of nice to know that you've got the biggest viewing angle. And again, that's where that W on the 67 comes, because it's wide angle. This unit does time or stamp your GPS location and your time, your miles per hour that you're going. That will be stamped on the video if you want it. If you don't want it, then you can just turn that setting off and it won't be on there. So having it on there could, you know, help in the case of maybe an insurance claim or something like that, but it's totally up to you if you want to leave that on there or not. The family of Garmin dash cameras can sync together, which means that you can, it'll sync up to 4 Garmin dash cameras. And what this means is maybe you've got a dash camera up front, maybe you want one out the back window, maybe when you're at an RV park you want one out the side window or something, or just for a security purpose. It's got this feature to where it can basically sync all those together to where you can watch them in frames, and it'll go back and take the date and time stamp, and it can run those simultaneously together, which is a very nice feature of this, this camera. Reviewing footage is so easy. There's an app called the Garmin Drive App, and basically once you download that on your smartphone and Bluetooth to this unit, you can basically see everything that you saved. You can see in real time what this is seeing. So a lot of times when we're driving down the road, Tammy will have her smartphone out and she can literally watch what the camera's seeing. A, she wants to make sure the camera angle's right if she needs to adjust that. And then B, a lot of times she'll just snap a picture from her phone, because while you're driving down the road, if you're like, oh, well, that's beautiful, she can just on her phone just hit, boom, take a picture. It'll snap that picture. She can save video. She can change settings, just all kinds of features with that Garmin Drive app. So it's highly recommended that you get that on your smartphone and link this up to this to make it just a bit easier. You can do everything from the dash camera, but again, the Garmin Drive app does make it a little easier. This camera has a feature called Parking Guard. It's really a security feature to where if you're not with your vehicle, then and this senses some kind of movement, then it will capture that movement and it can notify you of that with footage from whatever was going on around that vehicle. So it's kind of a safety feature if you want to use this. If you're doing that, you definitely need constant power to your unit in order to be able to do that. You do need that Garmin Drive app as well. It also has live view, and again, with that you need constant power. You do need Wi-Fi, and then you would need the Garmin Drive app on your smartphone. So you don't even have to be around this, and if you have it set up properly, I can, from wherever I'm at, I can see what this is viewing. So if you leave your RV stored or just somewhere for a couple of days, you can always check in and kind of see what's going on with that live feature. Again, constant power, Wi-Fi, you got to have it to make that work. The 67 has some driver assist features that I really like. And basically, it has a lane keeping assistant. And so if you start to drift out of your lane, it'll just give you a gentle audible nudge to let you know you started to drift out of your lane. Also, if you're driving too closely to someone or you're coming up on somebody too fast, again, it'll give you that audible alert for that. And then let's say you're sitting at a stoplight and there's a car in front of you and the light turns green and that car takes off and you just don't happen to see it because maybe you're looking down or something. This will notice that car left and you didn't move, and it'll give you that gentle nudge to tell you to get moving. And so anyway, it's just a few things like that this Garmin dash camera has that makes driving just a little bit easier. Another feature of the Garmin is that it has something called travel lapse. This is kind of fun. Let's say you took a 4 or 5 hour trip, you can actually condense footage down into a much shorter video for you to watch of that footage, and you can watch that or share it with friends. So that's just kind of a fun feature that that it has, and that's called travel lapse. So when you get the Dash Cam 67, you're getting your dash camera. You're getting your 2 power cables, your cigarette lighter style plug with the additional USB port built in. You're getting a quick start guide, and then you're getting 2 magnet mounts to mount the camera with. And so again, we've got a lot of different models of the Garmin dash cams over at technorv.com. And we've also made a comparison video of all the different models if you need that to help you make your decision. And then as always, we are here to help. So if you have more questions and you want to call, chat, or email with us, then you can just hop on over to technorv.com.